Replacing me with an AI. Okay. But think of how AIs all through the eons, well, maybe not that many eons, did. Remember the guy with the first stick who took the stick and said, clunk, and he watched the sun shadow on the stick move around? Wow. I wonder if any made a sundial. Wow. And the sundial only worked when the sun was out. Okay, right. Then he said, if I burn rope, if I took this beeswax candle, oh, that's wasteful. Oh, I know, I get the gourd full of sand. I let the sand go through. Anytime that. How much sand will go through the gourd in a given time? That worked with an hourglass, and then you had a minute glass. And you had all these glasses. When you could blow glass, do glass, hourglass, sand work, right, okay. That only worked. And somebody says is that I want to break that down even further. Think of the first guy who made a clock. A big clock. I think they did it in Rome. Gears in that to move a dial. And then what their thing was, you attached a cog to it where it rang a bell. Of course, then you had all the movement of people. Somebody looking at it, making these great big clock tower. Now you had to have a clock tower that had put a clock in it. Okay. Somebody decided that a jeweler said, I wonder if I could take that clock and make something smaller. So he did. And now he had a clock on his mantle. Everybody who had money wanted to put a clock on their mantle. That little chime to go bing, bing, once an hour, or once every 8 hours, Going to bed at night, you set it for 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you're a farmer. Yes, you wanted to get up before the sunrise. So farmers had that thing. They had the big clock tower. They got a small thing on their mantle when they could afford it. And then somewhere down the line, somebody said, I wonder if we can make it smaller. Pocket watch. Yes. They were classified as novelties, and they were the early forms of artificial intelligence. It changed. Another thing that changed is the Industrial Revolution. A guy called Watt. Because the old way was they produced a mine to draw water out of a mine. The thing was a steam engine. Steam fills a container up here and drops the arm down, and then you add cold water to it, and it goes up and back and forth. But the problem is the collector of that. What did Watt do? He put another valve in it, which sucked out the steam into a cold area, a condenser, and then you moved from the condenser, you circulated the water, turned to steam, right. Stuff went to steam, there's a little valve on that. Steam goes up, piston goes up, that side goes down, and goes back and forth. That was Watt's communication with a steam. And somebody says, I wonder if we could put a wheel to it. Because, you know, a little wheel. And spin a wheel. Steam engine. Moving coal from point A to point B. From Newcastle to another part of the country. Railroad. They were crude, they worked, they were crude. Now, unless you happen to control the steam, you could have an explosion, but usually these were so crude they leak steam anyway. They become more efficient, they could pull more. So somebody had to build railroad cars. Somebody had to build the wheels. They had to design the wheels so the wheels stayed on. So instead of having, they added an extra rim to it. And what you could do, prove that you can move coal from point A to point B. What else could you move? Can you go further? So the rich guy comes along and says, I want one of those. It's a novelty, it's a toy. Wife says, what are you going to do with that thing? I'm going to move grain from my fields to that city instead of using horse and wagon. The next guy down the line who owns 10,000 acres of land says, wow, you're doing that? Let's extend it a little further on. So they extended it further on. Of course, all these rails had to be made. That's a steel thing. Somebody else added on. Somebody else added on. So the steam engine's going back and forth, back and forth. It hauls goods. It hauls people. As soon as you could haul people, rich people moved further out from the city so they can get clean air, because the cities were clogged with coal smoke. They grew. You moved food from out there to in here. Then if you lay one set of tracks going out, you laid another set going in. So as one train goes up there, hauling whatever, coal, you got another train hauling goods into the city. You had milk, unknown in cities. You had grain. You had bread. Sometimes the farmer would create a bakery. Instead of setting grain in there, he's setting bread in there. Of course, you know, it's day-old bread. So what? That's what people ate. Day-old bread, 2-day-old bread. You know, just so they didn't turn a little green. But that's what people were. You know, they had a finished product there. Grain manufacturers, grain, yeah. So the bakery was out here, moving bread there. It's a lot cheaper than moving grain, because your mills are out here. You have a water mill out here grinding stuff, or you have a steam operated mill grinding something. That thing changed. Somebody thinks it says, well, that's your new AI. You know, that's your new AI. It changed everything. It eliminated the guy with a wagon and horses. It eliminated the guy with a horse drawing a barge. Think about it. Because what happened is, now you happen to have a small steam engine pulling a barge. Horses work 20 miles a day. Steam engine does 100 miles a day. What do you think happens? Then what happens, you take is a little steam engine and you put it on the barge. So your steam engine is basically your AI, artificial intelligence. You changed everything. Now, what does it really mean, that artificial intelligence? Can you count? Artificial intelligence could be a typewriter that replaced a pen and quill. But a pen and quill replace somebody putting a mark on there. The printing press, artificial intelligence. You know what a printing press did? Yes, Gutenberg. I don't mean the Chinese printing press where they made a block. You know, everything was made into blocks. Because of the characters. You have a character that you're doing that. You do as a reverse block, and you cut the lower block. And you made basically this stuff. These are character blocks. These are not letter blocks. They're like Gutenberg had letters. Okay? He designed letters. Whereas in Chinese it was blocks. Right. And you did the same thing by using soot. The artificial intelligence, that's the way. Now we're looking at artificial intelligence is on a computer, doing the thinking for you, like writing this. It's like, sure. And whatever you want. It's doing your creative work. No, it's not going to do my creative work unless it can mimic this face, which actually it can do. Replace this face with something that looks intelligent and move the lips to that thing. And hey, I'm not worrying about it.